All right, you guys, good morning. Welcome back to the Rockhound channel. William here, and yeah, still feeling under the weather. What you see before you here is that second part of the bucket, and I've already got about 6 or so, 8 actually. I almost lost count. Scoops going on up in there, and we're not gonna stop till this is all gone bye-bye. And you guys are gonna be right along for the ride when we go ahead and do the cleanup. So hang tight, guys. Yeah, I'll tell you what, guys, I am absolutely impressed with this machine. So simple in design and so effective. These mats are definitely well worth it. Definitely well worth it. As you can see, it's super rich. I mean, this stuff, well, not as rich as one of my buckets that I got over there. That stuff is straight up magnetic sand. And I tried a couple scoops of that in here, and with it being all magnetized, oh boy, it just gobbed and gobbed sitting up in it, and it just wouldn't move at all. So I know what I got to do with it. I'm gonna have to roast it and melt it in small batches. But that one there is gonna be a springtime video. We're gonna do that all together. Boy, oh boy, are you guys gonna be amazed with the gold in that one. What gold I did get released from the scoops from that bucket was incredible. There was a lot of it. So let's get this one in there. Oh, go grab me some cough drops and hopefully continue on here. All right, hang tight with me, guys. I'll be right back. All right, guys, we are still chugging along. I'm putting in my third scoop now. I hate being under the weather, but I know that this has got to get done. I want to get all this stuff done, like I said in my previous video. That way I've got empty buckets ready for this year. This year, I'm praying now that we have this system. We're going to really put it through its steps out in the field. And I'm going to see about something a little bit crazier than that. I'm going to turn around and probably put that booger with it. Somehow I'm going to incorporate that booger into the system and see what that looks like. So if you guys got some ideas on how to do it, let me know, please. Let us know out there. I gotta get Brandon out here. Hopefully he comes this weekend, and I'm gonna have him work solely on this box while I go work the mini piglet to get the material back to him. So I got a few troublesome buckets over here that I haven't quite stratified yet or went through, and I don't want to put anything super big through this box without doing any of that. It works really great with just sand. I'm really good with that. It's caught some things that have surprised me over the past few days. Let me show you those real quick here. So everything that you see right there is what it's caught, and as it's dried out, this is kind of strange. Some of these chunks are really showing like they're dense, like they didn't go anywhere in the little dip troughs that are inside the machine. And I mean, they feel like lead. I know a couple of them are. I got this guy right here and this guy. Holy crap, that feels like a big old, like a steel BB alone. Just that tiny little guy. Real heavy. Oh, I'll lose you. I got some really interesting ones there, like this guy. Very interesting. That looks like really old beat up lead. I can't really scratch into it. Haven't gotten around to trying to crush it yet. I'll do that if later on, after everything's all ran out of this bucket. I'm going to probably take it and crunch it up and probably free pan this, and you guys will get to see that probably in another video. I've also noticed some jewelry pieces in there. What else did I see? Oh yeah, there was some like pins. Looks like something like maybe some computer parts. One great point of time, there's a piece of jewelry. It was just kind of hanging out in there. And then there's some pins that are up in here. I can't get a hold of them. I gotta get my tweezers at them. But they're there. You can see them. There's one there. One there. I got one that's hiding in here. It looks like it's got a little diode. You see that little white bit. Kind of interesting. But they stayed stuck underneath here, so they didn't even hit the mats inside there. So that's good to know. Anything super heavy, it's going to stick right on down in there. Oof. So we're going to go ahead, continue on shoveling, and then I'll come back to you guys once I get about halfway, I think. I want to try to keep these videos a whole lot more shorter this time around. A lot of this is super boring, so I'll show you guys the results here in a little bit. So I thought about it since I'm waiting here for this to clear out. This bottle alone is everything that I've collected just out prospecting further areas outside of my famous honey hole. And there's some really interesting stuff in that. I'm going to turn around and give this an additional roast and probably try to shock it a little bit, and we're gonna see about it. I think I'm gonna go ahead and throw it back to the cube and get another case or a tub that's in there so I collect the waste from this and see what we get. There's this one here, I weighed it out and it's roughly about 2 pounds, which come out to I think about 2 pounds. I was just trying to think of it in freedom measurements here. Super heavy stuff. I mean, I throw that at someone getting knocked out. I ain't kidding. This is heavier than a baseball. This one's nuts. So you'll be along for the ride on that as well. Coming up this spring, I'm gonna go ahead and probably shock this stuff, crush it, pulverize it some more, and roast it, and then we're gonna run it back through the cube, and hopefully maybe there's some more gold in there. That's probably why this thing's so gosh darn heavy. You can literally see the tiny bits of garnet that's in this. It's just crazy amounts of garnet. And they are beautiful when you look at them in a jeweler's loupe. They are straight up pyrope and garnet. They don't look like anything else. So that's super cool. Can't wait for this year. Alright, I'm going to get back to scoping. I'll be back. Alright guys, something a little different. So today, just like most other days, I'm trying to work on something while I'm doing some of these concentrates to get better at things and to fix what I have. So this here is my concentrates tubs, and those ones are what I use to rinse off big old mats that I got. I run all my concentrates on and off of this big old 2-stage, and they all get washed off in here. So I had to pull the drains. As you see there in the corner, I got me a crack developing. These things are older than me, so got to take care of them. So I'm gonna be working on this while I'm working on scooping out the rest of that stuff. So we're gonna get this rocking and let this dry for a good 24 to 48 hours, and then we'll be able to use this once more in doing my concentrates. And I found this out the hard way. I was rinsing off one of my mats down into a bucket, and I hit the plug in, and I was still sprigging water. I'm like, oh, what the heck's going on here? And there it was a leak. So gotta fix that up before we get to spring so I can get the rest of the other materials done. I'll be right back. Alright guys, we're still pounding away at that. just finish this up. Run that dry in there. It shouldn't be too long. I had some hiccups along the way, of course. So, but we're going to continue on pumping here and get this done. I'm still chugging along in here. It's been about 20 or so minutes. And lots of flakes are starting to produce out of here. So not too bad at all. Boy, I can't wait to show you that top tray. I'll be back as soon as I'm there. Well, we're finally seeing blue at the bottom of my bowl. That's all that's left in there. Still got some glints in the back of the first tray there. And then the second tray has got some decent glints. I'm going to go ahead and just let this process for a little bit. I ended up with a bunch of super heavy sand, so I'm going to just hold on for a second, wait for these things to clear out. I'll be back. We're getting there though. Alright guys, we're down to the last 5 scoops. Finally, I had to go back to a 1/4 cup. This stuff is just so super heavy, it just stays stuck in there. So, we're going to get these last few cups in, let it run for 20 minutes, and see what the clean out looks like here in just a little bit. Alright guys, we're finally down to the last tiny bit out of that half a bucket that was remaining from last night. I'm going to go ahead and run this down there, give it 20 minutes, and we're going to shut down and go ahead and clean out. I'll show you in just a bit. Alright guys, that is going to be the next video here. This will be bucket number 5 out of 6. So that's a full bucket. That sucker was roughly over 200 pounds worth. And it's not the moisture either. There's a good key pointer for you. Gold wears an iron hat. And there's an awful lot of iron sitting up in the sand. So we're going to run this real careful like after I get it wet down. So that'll be for the next one here. Right now I'm going to get another about 10 or so minutes on that to let that try to get through most of the blondes as possible. It's kind of struggling on it, but it's working. So yeah, rest my arms a bit and get this ready. So we'll be here in the clean out real shortly. Alright guys, looks pretty good there. As best as I can get that line to come out right there. We got some hidden right there in the bubbles. Got another picker right there in the far corner. If you follow the ridges straight down, you'll see it. And then somewhere along here there's another right there. And I got 1 or 2 right there in the corner. So not too bad. There's a bunch buried in there. And again, it looks like this stuff got magnetized. Alright, let's move on to trays 2 and 3. Alright guys, I did the best I could on that one. That's the middle tray. I got a bunch of micro ones that are in that. So not too bad, not too bad. There's gonna be a bunch sitting up in there. So definitely well worth the pot. Now I'm off to the bottom. I'll see you in a minute. Alright, I've been playing around with this for about 20 minutes. And I've got 1, maybe 2 specks in there. That's it. So 99% of the capture was at the top of the mat. So we're good to go on that end. Next week, I'll be squaring this away, getting all this gone, one little bit at a time. I think I'm just going to go at it with a spoon and just say screw it. This is going to be a real mess to deal with. So if you guys liked today's video, please be sure to leave a comment and hit the like button for me. And if you're new to my channel, please be sure to subscribe. Leave your comments down below. If you got any places that you think I might be able to hit anywhere here in Midwest Wisconsin, don't be afraid to let us know. Until next time, guys, this is William for the Rockhound channel saying, y'all take care.